Hello Aquarius, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of January 22nd through 28th. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each card and use your own intuition to, take you beyond just what I'm telling you, okay? Remember that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here is the Two of Cups. Let's put that into some context. I have some really good feelings about that card. Like I'm getting this feeling like you're a very loving and passionate person, right? I think that you really do have a lot of love to give. We're going to do our Dove and Serpent spread, and as our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, let's do the Antique Anatomy Tarot deck. This is pre-shuffled. We're going to do one card from the middle. We're going to put that right there. We're not going to look at it until the very end of the reading, so definitely stick around till the end and we'll see how that card might tie everything together, or give us the confirmation that we're looking for right at the very end of things. So we've got some major, a lot of major arcana today. Then we've got some earth, we've got some water and air and fire. So, a pretty decent balance. It's pretty heavy on the major arcana. So I feel like this is going to be an extra special week for you. I think there's going to be a lot of things going on that seem like they're just coming from the spiritual realm, right? Just things that are a little bit out of your control, but that are going to be positive things, positive blessings that are going to be coming your way. First of all, let's address this Two of Cups. Now, I think this really is kind of your vibe right now, right? I think that you're a very affectionate person. You're a very giving person, very generous with your time, with your energy, with your heart. I think when you love someone, you really put everything you have into it. I feel like you're a really giving person. I think that you're very warm and very loving. I think you like to express love. You like to express affection. I think you feel things very strongly. But at the same time, I think that you stand up for yourself and you expect people to reciprocate and show you the same kind of love and respect that you're giving them, right? So now with that being said, this could perhaps turn into a love or relationship or romance reading, okay? So viewer beware. But it doesn't necessarily have to be so. This kind of energy, this kind of love that I feel from you right now really could be applied in any area of your life. This could be at work even, this kind of compassion, this affection, this care that you have for other people. I feel like it pretty much sums up who you are right now. You're the kind of person that will go out of their way to take care of somebody else, to take care of somebody in need. You really try to make an obvious show of your love and affection. You know what I mean? You really want the other person, whoever we're talking about, family member, friend, romantic partner, coworker, it doesn't matter who. You really want them to know and to feel the love that's coming from you, And I think that gives you a lot of pleasure too, expressing your love and affection and making sure the other person can really feel it and they're aware of it. And I think that gives you a good feeling too. You know what I mean? But like I said, at the same time, I get this feeling like if the other person isn't giving it back to you, then you can just as easily turn it off. I don't think that you're one to kind of keep giving and keep being generous with your heart if it's not really being returned to you. If it's not coming back to you at kind of an equal level, then you can pretty easily shut that down. Now, what we see kind of coming your way this week is this Seven of Swords. Now, I wonder if this is going to be some kind of a miscommunication with somebody. I wonder if there is maybe somebody that you haven't had the best kind of dialogue with lately. And it could be someone who's not really receiving your love or your generosity or your heart, your care, your affection, right? Could be platonic, could be romantic. somebody who's not really picking it up, not really giving it back to you. There could be some kind of a blockage with the energy flow with this person. Okay, and now, you know, I gotta say that we don't see any court cards in the reading today. So I don't know who this other person is. It's possible that this is not so much another particular person, but this is a little bit of a blockage with you, where you feel this Two of Cups energy. This is your vibe this week. You really want to express your love. You really want it to be a mutual, a give and take, a two-way kind of street. But there's something blocking this energy from flowing right now. You know, there's something that is either preventing this energy from getting to the proper person, and that's why we don't see any court cards here, because it's like this energy can't find its way to the right person. Do you know what I mean? Or it could be that there are just so many draws on your energy, so many different directions, different things that are pulling your energy right now, that it's creating a bit of a distraction where you can't really kind of, you know, laser focus this love energy on the proper person, right? Because there's so much going on right now. I feel like it's a busy time in your life. I feel like you have a lot of different things or people that are like pulling your energy in different directions, like this Seven of Swords is kind of portraying. You know, I feel like you want to stick to the one kind of central path, this central sword that we have here. But there is a lot that is kind of scattering your energy about. You know, there's a lot of things that I think that are pulling on you in different directions. Now, let's go now to what's beneath the surface here. Okay, this is a 10 of Swords. This is at the bottom of the path of the dove. This is something that either the situation this week is kind of built on this, or it is something that is beneath the surface or lying just below consciousness, like kind of in the subconscious, unconscious level with you. And this could be something like a tendency for you to, what's the word here? Maybe be too quick to end a relationship or end a dialogue, end a conversation when you don't feel like it's really being reciprocated, where this love energy is not coming back to you, where it doesn't feel like there's a vibe. I think you're very quick to shut things down. And I think that's a good thing. You know, we talked about that a little bit with the Two of Cups, how you can shut it down quick if you don't feel like the other person's vibing with your energy. But I think that it kind of is something that you're prone to do, like cut people off when there's a perceived lack of return, or a lack of kind of like the resonance. You know, if people seem to be just a little bit out of harmony with you, a little bit out of phase with you, I think they're gone. I think you stop talking to them, you block them, you don't answer the text messages, you don't answer the calls. And it could be that that is just a little bit jumping the gun a little bit, you know, a little bit premature, or done a little bit hastily sometimes, okay? But I feel like overall you're a very open person, a very trustworthy person. And as long as you feel like the other person is kind of meeting you on the same level, which again goes back to this Two of Cups, if they're at least like resonating with you, vibing with you, you know, it doesn't have to be the same kind of intensity, or it doesn't have to be expressed in the same way. But as long as you feel that there's some harmony there, then you're a very, you know, a very trustworthy person, a very giving person, a very generous person, someone that other people can really rely on. With this Ten of Swords, I feel like you're someone that people can really, they can tell all of their secrets to you and trust you with those. You know what I mean? As long as you feel that connection. But I think as soon as that connection is maybe gone, as soon as you kind of stop feeling it, or if you're a little uncertain about it, then I think you cut the relationship off and you don't want to go any deeper or any further with that person. And again, this feels to me like it's mostly platonic, but it could also kind of spill over into your romantic relationships too. You know what I mean? So I feel like you're very perceptive like that. I think that you're very, well, let's go up here. Let's go to the Three of Wands. I think that you have a very deep spiritual side to you. Okay, I think you have you're very much in tune with the subtle energies. You have a very strong set of principles, right? Kind of things that you believe in, that you won't violate, that you won't allow anyone else to violate them. You know, these are like lines that you won't cross, right? And I think you're very in tune with that about yourself, and it gives me a very spiritual vibe with you. And I think that's part of this whole connection. Everything we see on the vertical axis of the path of the dove here, this is all about you, right? Your character. I think that you're very, very intense when you love, when you care for someone, but as soon as it's not being given back to you, or as soon as that you don't feel that vibe anymore, you shut it down quick. You know, I think it gets shut down. It gets shut down quite quickly. And I think that you have this kind of intuitive, this subtle understanding of things where as soon as you get into a room with someone, you know whether or not you're vibing with that person. And you can instantly feel that connection. That's the Three of Wands in action with you. Okay, right here at the top of the path of the dove, I think that you are very much aware of this, almost like a psychic ability, right? This really strong intuitive sense. So you just kind of feel it in your gut whenever you meet someone, whether or not you're going to like vibe with that person, you know? And I think you're very much focused on that. And it could be that this is perhaps what's getting a little bit, this perception, right? Could be what's getting a little bit clogged by this Seven of Swords, right? It could be that there's a lot going on in the practical kind of day-to-day life for you, that it's kind of, it seems like it's interfering with this more subtle psychic knowing thing, this understanding that you have. Do you know what I mean? But so, let's see what happened kind of recent past. Let's go to the near future and see what the timeline is here to see like where we're at and why there's a little bit of this blockage. It feels like the blockage, again, it's starting to not feel like it's with any particular person. It almost feels like this blockage is between you and your intuition or your spiritual understanding, right? Between you and this Three of Wands that we're talking about. So let's see, recent past. Recent past, we have the Eon, we have the Judgment, Rebirth, Reawakening, Baptism by Fire kind of thing. I really think that this is something to do, maybe not career exactly, but something with your work, something with your creativity, something with, not work like employment, but the work, right? What you're working on, right? Kind of what you focus on day to day. Maybe not what you do for money, but what your real work and real passion is. I think that you've made a huge leap there recently. Like you really, it feels like you really walked through a door. And I think it's bringing about a lot of kind of new energies, a lot of new experiences, a lot of new awareness almost, you know. I feel like there really was a tremendous struggle to get through this door. You know, I think it really was like a baptism by fire. And I think through that fire, a lot of your kind of like old personality really feels like you banished or you shed a lot of unnecessary like baggage or elements of your being, of your soul, your personality, your awareness, right? I think that it's giving you this kind of new perception, but it's still a bit clouded, right? It's still a bit kind of scattered, and the connection that you've always, I think always have had with your spirit, with your intuition, seems a little foggy now. But it's because this was such a big leap, or a huge, kind of a jump, I think, to this new era, this next stage of your life, okay? And again, it could be career, and it could be what you do for money, but I think it's really whatever area of your life, whatever work that you do, that you really are like pouring your soul into. So it doesn't have to be what you do for money or what your job is day to day, but it's what your work is, right? I want to make sure that distinction is clear, because this is not, you know, this is a major arcana card. It's not like we just had some discs here somewhere that are saying, well, you're making some advancements in your career. But it could be that. But this is so much more abstract than that, or so much more general even, where it kind of encompasses all of your life. So you're probably noticing things in your workplace as well, but also in your personal life. And I think what is coming with this leap that you've made is a little bit of this, I almost want to call it a confusion, or a little bit of static, making the connections, right? And using your kind of your intuition, your spiritual understanding to make these connections that we see here with all of this love energy that you've got, right? All of this desire to really just unite with people and experience people and make the connections, and to have this kind of give and take of this really warm and joyful and harmonious love energy, right? This water energy. Anyway, the near future, the kind of immediate future, maybe by the end of the week, the next, the next few days, I see something involving a Cancer person here. I don't know if there's someone in your life that is a Cancer now, that is in your life now, I mean. They've probably always been a Cancer sign. But someone in your life is, get this feeling like they're prepared, they're getting prepared to go somewhere. They're either getting prepared to leave. I don't know if you're going with them, if you're planning a trip, or if you're, you're leaving home, or you're moving, or something like that. But I feel like there's another person in your life that you've kind of been waiting on. And I feel like now, with this kind of, this leveling up that you've done recently, I think that you are pretty seriously on the move here. And I think it's kind of in some way related to this person who was either supposed to go with you, or you were going to go first and they were going to follow you, or you were kind of waiting for them to be ready. And now we're going to get to some other cards here that might suggest more of this kind of thing. But there's some kind of a traveling or journey, or a getting ready to travel kind of vibe going on in the next few days. So I don't know if there was something already working on. Again, it could be some plans that you've had, some journey or trip that you've always wanted to take, a move that you've always wanted to make, but you were waiting on someone to be ready. Okay? And I'm getting a little bit of a vibe that they are ready now, but I still have this sense of delay. So it could be that the delay is kind of over now, and that's why I'm thinking that you were like waiting on them to be ready, or to make the decision to go with you, or something, or that you were going first and they were still delaying and waiting and they were going to come after, right? Something like that. But I feel whatever that was, whatever this kind of trip or travel or journey thing is, I feel like it kind of, it felt to you like you were being boxed in. You know what I mean? Like you are all ready to go. You have these kinds of experiences, this big leap in your spiritual progress, your life progress, whatever it was. And now you are ready to, to make this journey, to take this trip. But I feel like because you're waiting on this person, it's kind of like boxing you in. It's kind of, it's like you're just behind this gate, and you have to now wait for the gate to open to let all of this energy out and to make this move with this Chariot card. And I don't know who this person is or why you're waiting on them. Again, it could be family, it could be something with your job, maybe waiting on someone there, waiting on a decision from your company, your manager, whatever. It could be your significant other. It had to. Something is delaying this process. But I feel like it is kind of holding you back, and you feel a little fenced in by it. Okay? But we're going to move over now to the path of the Serpent. And before we do this, I do just want to remind everyone that the tarot cards are always correct. Okay? I don't care who you are, what you do. Any tarot card you pull is always the right one. Okay, but sometimes as the interpreter, I can't always understand the meaning or the relevance of each card to your life in every detail. So again, I ask you to try to connect directly with the images on the cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond what I'm telling you. Okay? Now, General energy on the path of the Serpent is this Four of Discs. This is kind of what I'm talking about with the being fenced in. I feel like you're being held back by something. You know, I feel like you've had all of these kinds of breakthroughs and leveling up, and like, you know, you've made these leaps in the recent past. You've made all of this progress, but now there's something that's holding you back from taking this journey. And, you know, this might not be a physical move, right? This could just be like a figurative move, right? Like making huge changes in your life because of all of this like leveling up that you've had, because of this great leap that you've made spiritually or energetically. You're ready now for this big move, right? Either literal or figuratively. But someone or something is holding you back, and it's kind of making you feel a little boxed in, a little fenced in, a little held back, right? So we've got this Four of Discs here, and I think that this, you know, in other ways, this really goes back to what we were saying with the Two of Cups. I think you're a very generous person. You're a very giving person. I think you are very responsible. You're very much in charge of your own life. I think that you know how to gather your resources. You know what I mean? Both energetically, but also literally. You know how to save money. You know how to make a budget. You know how to take care of the bills. You know how to plan for these things that you want in the future. If this is a literal move, you know, or a trip or a vacation or something, you know how to plan for that. And I think you have been planning for that, right? We see with this Four of Pentacles, kind of a great like storehouse of resources. You know, it could be that you've saved a lot of money. It could be that you've you know, you've been training to climb this mountain or whatever this move is. You've been preparing for it, okay? But I think at the same time that can kind of isolate you a little bit because you've been focused on this spiritual progress, let's say. I don't know what else to call it, but you've been very focused on this and on this future move, trip, journey, whatever that is representing. You've been very focused on that, so it has been a little bit isolating, right? And I think that the more you are feeling held back by whoever this other person is or this other entity, again, it could just be your employer, is you know, waiting to do all the paperwork and get through the red tape to send you off somewhere, something like that. Okay, but it could be your significant other, your family, or something that you're waiting on. So the more you wait, the more you kind of isolate and prepare, and it's like you have to maintain your level of fitness so that you can be ready to go when you get the final like green light, you know. So I think that it's kind of perpetuating itself. You know, the more you wait, the more you feel like you are kind of isolated, and the more you're kind of being boxed in, and all of this energy is just kind of growing into almost like a frustration, you know. The next card that we see is your environment. This is a delay in the environment. This is an environment that, again, is like ready to go, except nothing's moving yet. Like, why? What are we waiting for? You know, what is it that is stalling this thing out? Okay, so I feel, again, this is giving me an even stronger feeling that you have everything ready to go. You have everything prepared for this move that's coming in your life. Now, again, I want to emphasize that it's not necessarily a physical move or a physical trip or a journey or a vacation or something, but it's a major move or a major shift in your life. Okay? And something is causing a delay here. And it's, again, it's almost like the more this delay, you know, kind of is drawn out, the more it's kind of lingering, and the more delay there is, the more isolated you feel, the more frustrated you're getting, because you keep trying to maintain this level of readiness, not knowing when you're going to actually get to pull the trigger, right? So there is this kind of, this stall, this delay in your environment. I don't know if this is a significant other or the employer or family, again, okay? What we see next, interestingly, is this Wheel of Fortune card. This, I think, is right along with what we were talking about with this Three of Wands with you, which is your connection with your intuition, your spirit, your kind of divine understanding, your divine guidance, right? This wisdom and understanding that you have, that you're trying to get back in touch with. Because I think with everything going on, especially with these damn swords here that are causing a little bit of this confusion, a little bit of this blockage with the communication, I think this is why we have delay, we have this, like, just this difficulty connecting with things right now, right? And this is kind of because of the delay, and this is also adding to the delay, so it's kind of a self-perpetuating thing, right? And these are like, this is like the thorn in our side, I think, in this reading, because this is the only swords card that we have. It's really the only air card that we have, except for what was down here. But even this one is not the best swords energy. Okay, so I think there's a lack of connection. There's a lack of communication going on that is making you feel like you're not vibing, you're not connecting with the situation, with the people involved, etc. It's making you feel that you're not really in touch with your kind of like divine guidance anymore, with your intuition, with your gut feelings. Things just feel a little off, but you're not sure. There's a little bit of confusion, a little bit of communication blockage, okay? And I think that you're not used to that. I think you're usually someone who has a very clear understanding of what is going on, right? I think that you're someone who can kind of see the future in a way where you know where your destiny is leading you. You know what the right move is for you. You know where you're supposed to be. Like with this decision, with this move, right? This big move, figuratively or literally speaking. You know without a doubt that this is the right path for you, right? And I think that's adding to the frustration and this feeling of confusion and lack of connection, and that your vibe is not being, you know, it's not being given back to you. You're not feeling it. Because there's something going on that's preventing you from going down this path, which you know in your heart of hearts, you know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that this is the right thing for you, that this is part of your path, part of your destiny, you know. So I feel like there are some situations, some events, some kind of just mundane, routine things going on that are beyond your control here. Okay, I think there is some kind of red tape somewhere that there's really nothing you can do to change it. You have to just wait for it to be processed, right? You have to wait for it to kind of to resolve. You know, you have to just allow this wheel to turn. Like this, in some ways, is like the wheel of the bureaucracy, right? The wheels of government, they say, I guess. And this is just letting things work themselves out, because it's just the way the system is, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So these are the things beyond your control that you have to wait. You know, you have to just let them play out. The good news is, though, that we have this Tower card at the very end of the path of the Serpent here. And this is, I think, the floodgates finally opening. Okay, this is a lot of Mars energy, a lot of fire energy. I think there's going to be like a day where this thing just breaks through, breaks open, and things get rolling. Okay, so whatever the stagnation is, whatever the kind of blockage is, whatever the delay that's happening, I think all of that is just gonna, it's finally gonna pop, and it's gonna flow, you know. And this is going to lead to the move. The wheels on the chariot are going to be turning. This chariot's going to be moving. Okay, you're going to be headed down the path that you are waiting so patiently to embark upon. Okay, and I think that we are really just waiting for this moment. And I think that this is, you know, probably coming in the next week or two. That I think things are finally going to, like, this is someone just kind of cutting the red tape, and things can just flow now. You know what I mean? It's not like a slow kind of oozing out. This is, no, things are just going to burst, and it's going to, you're going to have to run with it. And so it's a good thing that you're so prepared, right? Because when this thing happens, it's going to happen like that. And yeah, you've got to be ready. You know, because this is, again, like I said, we have all this major arcana. So this is something that is very important for your overall life path, your spiritual journey that you're on. Whatever the particular incidents are, I don't really know. I mean, it's going to be different for everyone. I can't see those kinds of minute details all the time. Sometimes I can. But with all of these major arcana, it's something that you really know is important. This energy is super important. So whatever it is that's going on, whatever the move is, whatever the delay is, this is really you accepting the way things are playing out. You've got to accept that there are things beyond your control, and you just have to kind of wait for them. Okay, so I think you are someone who recognizes that. I think you're very much someone who will take care of business when they can. You know, if it's something you can affect, something you can change, something you can deal with, I think you do. On the other hand, if it's completely beyond your purview, beyond your reach, there's no choice but to be patient and stay prepared, you know. Keep all of your resources together and be ready for when this tower event does happen, because I feel like the energy is flowing again. And it could really be yet another cycle of this tremendous leap for you. You know, maybe career, maybe relationship, but spiritually, in your life path, I think this tower energy is probably going to bring us right back around to another huge leap for you. You know. Let's take a look at this confirmation card, this mystery card here. What is this card going to be? 9 of Pentacles. So yeah, this could be actually something that's very much tied in with your career and with how you earn money. Okay, and we said at the beginning that it wasn't necessarily that. Not necessarily. But it still, I think, is affecting that. And this is the confirmation of that. All of this energy, this whatever this move is, whatever this work is that you do, is going to have direct financial consequences for you. Okay, I think that, you know, within the next probably, I would say 9 days, right? We've got the 9 of Pentacles. So like in the next 2 weeks, I think you're going to start to see the real benefits from this happening. And I think that tower event's going to happen where things are going to get rolling, and you're going to start to see the consequences coming in, right? In terms of revenue or increase or a gain of some kind of material wealth, or an influx, a flowing in of new sources of energy, new resources, new revenue streams. Okay, so I think it's something that definitely affects your career, your job, how you earn money. All right. Now we're going to take a look at this a little bit in the extended reading. If you want to check out your extended, just click on the link that's right up here. And that will take you to the membership page. You can have access to all of the extended readings for all signs for every week. Okay. This was your weekly tarot reading for January 22nd through 28th here on Dove and Serpent Tarot.